Hi, everybody. Okay, Cash. Cash, has it really, oh my God, been 28 months? My hair is all crazy. Cash says, is it Salient? Will be over there a religion, not a cult, tax purposes, hashtag rabbit the blogging thing X. Shout out to Cash. Oh my God, y'all are funny, funny, funny. Everybody come through, come through, come through. Let those notifications go out. Man, Cash, 28 months. Are you serious? I feel like you just, like, literally, has it been that long? That's just crazy, you guys. Let those notifications go out. I got the coffee here. I think I'm on my third cup of coffee. It has been just one of those days. My goodness, you guys. Mm-mm-mm. Are you guys celebrating? Like, literally? Everybody celebrating? Let me know. I mean, should I be going out and celebrating? Because it's like, I don't know, St. Patty's Day or something like that. Shout out to everybody. Yes, I have arrived. Shout out to y'all. Dee Dee. All right, let me shout out some people. Well, at least on my end, there's some green, right? Like the membership shows green, but I don't think it shows green on your guys' end. Now, let me see something real quick. Just so, because I feel like the chat is always delayed on StreamYard. So I'm going to have to let's see. StreamYard. Let's go to the other side of this live. Welcome, everybody. Come through, come through. Shout out to everybody that's here. Welcome, welcome. Okay. I see people coming through. Hey, thank you so much for hitting that like button, please, and thank you. Not celebrating. I think my lifetime quota already. I filled my lifetime quota already, says Susie Q. Welcome, Susie Q. Okay, Katie, how are you? Last Ronin is in the house. Yes, Cash is here. Shout out to you, my love. Who else? Do Storm AF. Let's see. Last Ronin, Rhiannon. Thank you, thank you. Everybody come through. My goodness. Elsa, how are you? Yes. Alice, how are you? It's just me. Ya llegamos. Llegamos. Tinkoted, shout out to you. Yadira, how are you? Daisy, Erica P. Just finished catching up on your other stuff for today. It's been a crazy, crazy day today. Crazy day today, that's for sure. Everybody come through. Let's see. Daisy girl, shout out to you again. Dee Dee, Adam. Oh man, who else? Gizmo says, "What's up?" Cheeks is in the house. Thank you for being here. Let's see. Daisy says, "Hey, 420." Yeah, 420. Shout out to Daisy girl. Don, how are you? I dressed in green. All right, I got the green lights today. I don't know if y'all notice. Green lights in the background. Yes. Dizzy, how are you? Let's see. Beautiful messy ball, because you're so Irish. Just kidding. You can too if you want to. Shout out to you, beautiful messy ball. Uh is it I keep saying your name off. I don't know why. It's Amalthea, Thea. I'm Irish and not really celebrating. Might watch the St. Patty's episode of it. Always sunny later though. Thank you. Remind me. You got to remind me how to pronounce your name. I'm sorry, y'all. I told y'all, English is not my first language. Vámonos, llegamos. Vámonos. Thompson, how are you? Emily, Priya, me using the house. TLC is me. You're in bed watching me. Shout out to you. Lovey Cats, thank you. Tim, how are you? Danetta, welcome. Shout out to you. Maria, how are you? Maria Reading. Shout out to you. Tamara, how are you? You like the lights? Thank you. Pepperoni, how are you, my love? Shout out to you. Hold up, y'all. Lord have mercy. You know how when you live and then people be like messaging you. Hey, QT Card Design. Welcome, my love. Shout out to you. Thank you for those that are new. I'm noticing some new names in here. Gina Reed, welcome. Full of corned beef and beer. Shout out to you. Everybody come through, guys. The 18th here, nothing but St. Patty's hangovers. Amalthea. Am I saying it correctly? Ronan, help me out. I told you guys, you chat, you guys got to help me with the pronunciation of things. Amalthea, Amalthea. I think I said it correctly. Amalthea. Yes. Did I say it correctly? Let me know. Ia. Ia. Thank you. My name is the last unicorn. Gotcha. Umalthea. Umalthea. Okay. Can I call you the last unicorn though? I'll remember the last unicorn. I'll forget. I'm sorry. It just like you should ask Margot, who I couldn't even pronounce the name. There's certain names I just can't pronounce. I try so hard and I just can't. I'm too old. D Marie, how are you? You've arrived. Thank you. Only if it's okay with you, love. Only if it's okay. Amadeus. Amadeus. See, I know how to say that. Why are y'all laughing at me? Been watching you for a while. I always miss your lives. Well, thank you for being here. I have arrived. Had to leave a video before it was done, but I'm too late. Well, make sure you go back and watch that other one, all right? Pinche Becky's in the house. Welcome, Pinche Becky. Thank you, thank you. Who else did I miss? I think I said hello to everybody for the most part. Oh, man. I'm tired, y'all. You are far from old. I feel old. You know, I've always been old in spirit, just so everybody's aware. When I was 15, I felt like I was 45. I can't even, maybe it's like the lifetimes that I've lived or the things that I've experienced in my life that, and even when I was in my teens, I always like was around older people because that's what I attracted. I don't know. Maybe it's a Sagittarius thing. I don't know. But yeah. She said soon, was not sure what time it was. Now. Totally call me the last unicorn. My favorite childhood book. All right. I'm calling you the last unicorn. Okay. The next time I see your name, it's going to be the last unicorn. All right. I've remembered. Thank you. You need more adrenochrome? See, that I know how to say. You did finish the last video? Well, I mean, we'll definitely talk about that video that I did today earlier, but in a different video because literally that deserves a whole video in itself, commentary. I know other people are going to talk about it, so I'm glad that people are bringing awareness to this. Donata says it's a Sag thing. I feel like an old soul. It's a Sagittarius thing. How many Sagittariuses do I have here in the chat? Let me know if you feel like you're an old soul, like you are just old. Not physically, but like I remember I've always felt that when every time, like in my teens especially, I've always felt like I have lived or have been through something like deja vu almost. It's kind of trippy and weird, but that's just how it feels. Eldest daughter energy. It's a Pisces thing too, really? Girl, literally same. I read books and had talks with adults instead of playing with other kids. Yeah, I couldn't even I'm telling you, I was a kid. I was always what's the word? Like mentally I was always kind of like in a different space, even growing up in my writings and the way that I talk. So yeah, I very much feel that way too. Sag here, and yeah, see, I'm telling you, I don't know, you too. I'm telling you, you say I'm a kid at heart, always gets me in trouble. Sylvia always be getting in trouble. Hey, blank screen, shout out to you, LOL. I'll be 40 this year, so not ready to be old. Look, blank screen, I just turned 40, and let me just tell you. Listen, it's like this. It's like this, my friend. 40 is the new 20. Except if you slip on black eyes. I'm telling you, it took me a minute to recover. Okay. So just keep that in mind. All right. So just don't be slipping on no black eyes. You know, it is what it is. I personally enjoy hearing you try to pronounce shit. Reminds me of the Italian grandma who used to, I still have trouble. Matter of fact, my dad, whose first language is not English, he still has a heart, and I'm having to help him, but people have to help me, and part of it is because we didn't speak a lot of English at home. Like we spoke nothing but Spanish. I still have a hard time pronouncing shit all the time. Mm-hmm. You said my favorite people are Sagittarius and Cancer. Seriously gravitate to them. There's a reason. But I heard it's something really weird. It's like Sagittariuses are like attracted to old souls. Older souls. Older people. They tend to carry an old soul. Okay. Thank you. Well, damn, that's too late. Judge Judy says that the secret to a long life and not growing old is not to fall. Well, damn. I've fallen a couple times. Never gonna hold it against you, Rabbit. Not what you not gonna hold against me? Hold up. What are you not going to hold against me? Geminis are. Let me tell you, I got some Geminis that are very close to me, and y'all have that second side of you guys that I cannot. Like I'm like, am I which twin am I talking to? Which one am I talking to, y'all? Because you guys do the most, you Geminis. Shout out to the Geminis, but you guys do the most. Yes, I know, Ronan. I'm just saying the Geminis do the most. Shout out to y'all. Okay, let's get it together. Let's get it together because we have so much to get into. I've said hello. Did y'all hit the like button? Because I would appreciate it. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, Vic is like, haha, I'm a Leo, haha, whatever. All right, hold up. Now let me get this little poll going. I want to see what you guys are here. Shout out to the Taurus. I got a lot of beautiful, wonderful Taurus in my life. I am here for we need to talk about the Sudishka. I cannot want to make sure I say her name correctly. Sudiksha Konanki. I've been saying her name over and over just so I don't screw it up, but I know I'm not the only one. And then we have to talk about Gene Hackman. Oh my God, we have to talk about Gene Hackman. So let's get into it, guys. Go vote, hit the like button while you're there. Consider hitting the like button and sharing, okay? Support the channel. It is free to support. It's free to hit the like button, all right? Hit the like button like you owe a bill, okay? Like if you don't hit the like button, you're going to get in trouble that something's going to happen to you. That's what you have to do. Yes. Tim, you're an Aries. Ooh, I got a lot of I got a lot of different signs on in my family, so shout out to all. My birthday's in a few days. Yay. Gene Hackman's story is heartbreaking. We definitely got to get into it. I'm here for it all. All right. Hold up. Let me see which one is the upvote. Love you trying to speak Japanese, Rabbit. You're doing all right with the pronunciation. I'm telling you. I try. Okay. Okay. Definitely. I'm looking at the poll. So let's start with Gene Hackman. Definitely leading the poll right there. I'm here for Hackman. Oh my God, you guys. TK, shout out to you. Always supporting a lurking Leo. I hit the like button like someone commanded me to, says the good Nanya. Like right now. All right. Like today. Hit the like button like you owe a bill. Okay. Thank you. I'm a Cancer married to a Gemini with a Pisces daughter. Help. I'm sorry, Jenny. I'm telling you, man. It's always interesting. It's never boring with the Gemini or an Aries or a Taurus or a Pisces in a family. Being a Sagittarius, I am the glue that holds everybody together. Don't you forget. Okay. All right. Thank you, guys. Let's get started. So, oh man. Let's talk about Gene Hackman. Okay. So, a couple days ago, I think it was Friday, we reported that Betsy Arakawa probably didn't die the day that was reported that she died. Okay. I did a short little video on it, and a lot of people were like, what the hell is going on? They said, the authorities. Now, let me know in the chat. Are you guys feeling the purple or the blue? Which one? Let me know. Purple or blue? Purple or blue? Sorry, y'all. Show. Let me add that. Threw me off, but I thought I'd ask. What are you guys feeling? Okay. Let me say this way. I didn't bring no green, Vic. There's no green, okay? Well, thank you. Thank you. My birthday already passed him, but happy birthday to you if I don't see you. Shout out to you. Y'all said purple. All right. Okay, let's go purple. Aya vamos, how are you, my love? Shout out to you, Aya vamos. They're saying that Betsy didn't die the day that the officials reported that she died because apparently she called a doctor's office. The doctor spoke to the Daily Mail and gave an exclusive to the Daily Mail, basically saying that these officials got it all wrong. She called the doctor's office around February 12th. They initially said that she had died on the 11th. So I need to understand, what is this all about? What is this all about? Did law enforcement, did the sheriff's office, did they speak way too soon? Did they, because they did a whole press conference, guys. They did multiple press conferences on the situation. They're saying that she died a day later. They're saying. Okay, so let's get into this. The New York Times did a piece on this, so I'm glad this is interesting, right? So you have the New York Post that did a whole expose or thing or whatever exclusive on this. Then the New York Times, who's a little bit more prestige, if you like the New York Times, they said they copied from that story and basically reported on that. Stacy, shout out to Stacy. You said her phone records will prove it or not. Well, you guys left me some comments that were very interesting. Somebody said, well, is it possible that they took her phone and then she called the doctor's office? They're making it sound like the doctor by the name of Dr. Josiah Childs, if I remember correctly, he is saying that somebody in the office talked to Betsy and they had set up an interview or an appointment and they were going to be seen. Okay. She just never showed up. So now we really got to get into it. Okay. We really, really, really got to get into it. Cheeks, thank you. Law enforcement is not inspiring confidence in the integrity of this investigation. Patsy, you're right. Patsy Cram says if she died before him, would it change the terms of the will? That's why this is important. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Mira Mari, shout out to you, my love. I love your name, Mira Mari. And now it's two eyes. Is there an accent to it? Thank you for becoming a member, Mira Mari. Shout out to you. But I think that this is important. This right here, my friends, is important. I don't know, Beautiful Messy Ball, if they had a landline because they were only checking phones. And if I remember, I went back to the press conference when I did that video and I cut the snippets that were relevant to that press conference. And the guy, the sheriff said that they were waiting for the phones, but they were pretty 1000% sure that she died on the 11th. Then you had the medical examiner, the coroner, who basically said, yeah, she died potentially on the 11th. So all of these people said that she died on the 11th, but this doctor comes forward and gives an exclusive to the New York Post and says, well, no, she didn't, because I talked to her and we set an appointment and we have that. Right. And I wonder if any of this was recorded. And by the way, he also said that she didn't sound like she had any signs of distress, respiratory distress. And he also said, listen, I'm no Hantavirus expert, but typically somebody who has Hantavirus dies at the hospital with that diagnosis, if you know what I mean. He died on February 18th, according to the pacemaker, though. What day was it that the doctor said again? I think he said the 18th. I thought it was the 17th. Hold up. I know it was President's Day. Let me go back to, I got to pull my own calendar. Because I know I looked at it. It was the 17th when the pacemaker died, or excuse me, when the pacemaker stopped. So they're saying that he died either the 17th to the 18th. They were trying to pinpoint the date of his death. But yes, it was the 17th, if I remember correctly. But she died before he did. Okay. So yeah. And that's the question that I have. Did the doctor call the New Mexico Sheriff's Office to give this information? Or did they just say, no, we're just going to give this exclusive over to the New York Post? Literally. I have a lot of questions. It is a very sad situation. So let's get into this article now. This is Vanity Fair. My subscription for the New York Post or New York Times lapsed. Vanity Fair copies out of the New York Times, so I don't feel like I'm missing out on anything that I've already reported on. And the New York Post is just, or Times is just another publication. It's just like a lot between the Rolling Stone, the New York Times, and all the publications you got to pay a subscription for. Let's just go to one that we already know what's going to say. All right. So Gene Hackman's wife, Betsy Arakawa, died at least a day later than originally believed. So this is interesting. They must have now, if these bigger publications are picking this up, this is telling me that maybe the officials have said that this is official. And it's interesting because the sentence starts, officials now say that Arakawa called a medical service the morning of February 12th, a day after she was last seen alive. So she didn't die on the 11th, okay? She didn't die on the 11th, guys. So now the officials are coming forward after they spoke way too soon, way too soon, way too soon. It's weird, huh? How does that happen? You said it was the 18th that the pacemaker died. Initially, they thought the 17th, but there was an okay. So a fibrillation on the 17th, then it stopped on the 18th when they got the full report. I see. Yeah, that's the question that I have is why are they reporting it so late and why did they report it to the New York Times? The New York Post. And then the New York Times did an article once they found out that the officials actually effed up. So I don't have a lot of I don't know how I feel about this. It's one thing to say, okay, the investigators got the because they got the dog breed wrong, right? The one that was in the crate, that dog that was in the crate, I think it was like a Kelpie or a Kelpie or whatever the hell a breed is. Listen, I'm not a breed expert. Shout out to y'all. I'm not. I got a miniature poodle and I know that breed very well, okay, because we've had our dog for a good 15 years. But what I'm saying is how is it that I can understand the dog breed being something that they get wrong. How do they get the date wrong? Did they speak too soon? Did they give that press conference too soon? They couldn't have waited till the cell phone records? And how did she contact the virus? Did they have rodents in the house? Well, and I thought the person that was going around outside the house was like pest control, right? So I have a lot of questions about this. You said there's no questions about who died first. So the will shouldn't be in the question at all. If there was questions about who died first, I could see the will going more to one side of the family than the other, says Andra. Ah. Yeah, they got the dog wrong. I can understand. Listen, I am not a dog expert, so I probably would do that. I'd be like, there was a dog in the crate, looked like a a German Shepherd. That I could see myself doing that, but you know what I'm saying. Let's see. How the fuck did they just figure this out? Great detective work. I don't know. Yes, and that would be an autopsy for animals, by the way. Hold up. I believe the children are going to get his money, even though that's not how he originally wanted it. Because the way that his wife had it written out on the will, but he doesn't have it written. Right. Right. Emily says, I enjoy his movies, but it's sad and crazy ending. They said that there was no signs of rodents in the house, but there were no signs, but there were signs in other structures of the property. Hold up. Beautiful messy ball. You said, where did you find this article? Can you, if you find it, can you tag me either on Twitter or on Discord? You're saying that there was no signs of rodents in the house. Well, how the hell do you come across rodent poop? I'm confused by this. KCG, thank you for renewing your membership, my love. And Jay McCarthy just blessed us with 5 freaking memberships. Thank you, J McCarthy. Thank you, my love. I appreciate it. Thank you so much for the support. How is it? All right, y'all. Listen. Okay. Linda, how does this happen? They don't have any rodents in the house, but she still got this disease or illness, or is it a virus? It's a virus, right? She still got that, and it's a respiratory type of virus. And if I understand this correctly, it comes out of rat poop, a male rat species, but they don't have any rats. I don't know, man. I don't know. Definitely. Hey, Paz, how are you, my love? They didn't. They didn't. Oh my goodness. It's just too much. Hey, Poe, how are you? Shout out to Poe in the chat. Shout out to Poe. Can we blame Carrie Mosery? I don't know. They said one of the structures on the property tested positive for Hantavirus. The vet lady said that in the press conference. One of the structures in the property, like what? The mud room? I am so confused. So, okay. So a property can test positive for hantavirus, Yeah, like if the rats were there, but they didn't find any rats, I'm confused. From everything that I've seen, all the pathologists said it's hard to determine the time and date of death. Hold up, y'all. Give me 1 second. Somebody's calling me. Sorry, guys. I got a call. From everything that I've seen, the pathologist says it's hard to determine the time and date of death when there's mummification, as they had from climates, such as in they were living in. Okay, I have so much trouble navigating around the poles. No worries. Shout out to you. Hold up. I think there were other buildings in the property, but that property was like literally they didn't even have neighbors. So I have a lot of questions about this. Um, you said, and no one didn't smell any foul odor after both of them had passed in the house? I have a lot of questions about this. It seems like she didn't have any respiratory problems, even on the 12th, when she would have died. That's what I'm saying. Cause like even when she called the doctor said she didn't sound like she had any respiratory problems. She wasn't complaining. She's trying to make an appointment. Hey, Burden, how are you? The presser said signs of rodents were located in the structure on the property. Okay. The presser said signs of rodents were located in other structures of the property. So the question then becomes is how did she get in contact with that? In her property or other properties? In her property, but like other rooms. Is that what you mean, Burden? Shout out to you, Burden. Um, let's see. They were remiss in stating a date of death for her with her body in the stage of decomposition. They had outbuildings that could have had rodents. Yeah, I mean, it's like I don't know. It's too much, you know. You said you think it was a presser, not the actual house, but other buildings in the properties like the shed or garages or something like that. So she was probably maybe made contact with something or it was somewhere because if the structure tested positive per the state vet person, this is going to like really like people you know, it's a simple fact that they got the death date wrong at least, right? And granted like maybe because of the state of the body, that could have been an issue. But at the same time, it's like, come on, like maybe they shouldn't have said anything. From the press conference, it seemed like she didn't contact a medical professional about her conditions. That seems so wild because Hantavirus symptoms are intense. That's what I heard. But if she talked to a doctor, the doctor said on the phone she didn't sound like she was having respiratory trouble, right? It was an outside building that tested positive, says Peg. Thank you, Peg. You said, I don't care what they say. I don't buy any of it. I believe they died the same time I call foul play. None of it makes sense. You're not the only person who believes that it's foul play. I feel that the maintenance people that called it in are involved somehow. So, Kim, you're thinking like this is like a big old cover up conspiracy thing situation ship. Is that what you're saying? Vic says that's how people die in the old days, didn't they? From rat poop? From rat poop? You said, no, it's like the shack on the property is how I interpret it, not the house. So it wasn't in the house. It was a shack in the property, a barn or the shed. All right, y'all. Um, yeah, they probably found it in like an outhouse or something, like a shack or something like that. You said it was in the shed. It could have been on something else she purchased, like a can of food or bad food or something like that. Thank you. You said the droppings were out in the outside shed. I think they were in the yard tools. And mind you, she was the one that was taking care of him and maybe taking care of the house, maybe taking care of everything. House was negative. Said Jean was not likely to be in an outbuilding. That's what it sounds like. Like the mystery out of this. You said, I'm thinking it was maybe some Christmas decorations that were stored outside of the home. The decorations could have been exposed first. My decorations are not stored inside my home. You said, I can tell you now a shed is going to have critters in it if you're not on top of it. Don't ask me how I know. Just drop the article about the rodents in the Discord. Paragraph 6. Thank you, my love. Shout out to you, beautiful messy ball. You said rabbit in Dallas. Two of my friends have had their vehicles' wires eaten by rats, and they had to get them fixed. We're in the suburbs, Renee. Rats are going into people's vehicles, and they're eating wires. Are they eating the brakes too? Because Renee B, I'm serious. Like that, my friend. That's not even funny. Like, can you imagine? Literally, people are saying, well, the rats ate the brake wires. You said you're not getting shady vibes. It's just a tragic story. A lot of people are saying different things. I don't think the maintenance people are involved. A lot of people feel different. Hantavirus is rare, but more common in New Mexico. See, I didn't know that. You said also a maintenance worker was there for pest control. That, my friend, Cheeks, that stands out to me, that there was a maintenance worker that was out there for pest control. So maybe they saw activity of it, or maybe because it was a what is it, a one of those gated communities. So maybe they, they kind of do this kind of like an HOA type of deal. You said you can get it from food stuff being stored in the warehouse and rat peeing on the products. That's why you should always wash cans. I gotcha. Okay. You said Unicorn says it doesn't take a large rodent population to get exposed to hantavirus. I was a zookeeper for a decade, and our higher ups on the fear of hantavirus is on this. It only takes one exposure. Oh my God. So you were a zookeeper. See, that's interesting. That's interesting. Lord have mercy. I bet you got some stories about zookeeping. Let me just say that just sounds like an interesting job. Yeah, critters eat everything. Okay, so let's get into this article, guys. So officials, these official governments are now saying that Arakawa called the medical service the morning of February 12th, a day after she was last seen alive. So nearly 3 weeks after Gene Hackman and his wife, the classic pianist Betsy Arakawa were found dead in the Santa Fe home on February 26. New details surrounding their final days emerge. So both ABC News and the New York Times reported, no, see, they didn't report that. Vanity Fair, you're trash. Like the official report came from the New York Post. Okay, I read it. I know, shout out to who else read it? Cinema Shogun read it. Shout out to Cinema Shogun. He read the report too. So I know that a lot of us were like, we got that from the New York Post. Now they're kind of taking credit for it. All right. The New York Times reports that the officials now think that Arakawa died at least a day later than they originally believed after an initial investigation into the circumstances surrounding their death. New Mexico officials determined that Arakawa, 65, died of hantavirus, a pulmonary syndrome, a rare infection disease resulting from a virus primarily spread via rodents, likely on February 11th, the last day she was seen in public. Based on the last activity from the pacemaker, Hackman, 95, likely died a week later, with the cause being the cardiovascular disease and Alzheimer's also being noted as a contributing factor. Officials now say Arakawa was alive on February 12th, as she called the medical services of Cloudberry Health early that day. Arakawa placed 3 calls to Cloudberry that morning. Okay, she called the office 3 times, guys. 3 times. Okay? 3 times. Not 1 time, 3 times. I think that's important to note. All right? Arakawa placed 3 calls to the Cloudberry that morning. Santa Fe Sheriff Adam Mendoza told ABC News. Okay, so I'm assuming that they spoke to the doctor from that center, right? And then they were like, well, Why didn't you report this to us first? Well, I had to tell the New York Post first. Each time that she called, she individually spoke to a representative, said Mendoza. That would indicate to me that she was seeking medical advice or medical help and may have not been feeling well or may have been showing signs or feeling symptoms of the Hantavirus. Vanity Fair has also reached out to the Santa Fe County Sheriff's Office for comment. The Daily Mail, here it is. It wasn't the Daily Mail. I'm sorry. It wasn't the New York Post. It was the Daily Mail. Reportedly spoke to Cloudberry physician who confirmed that Arakawa was not a prior patient of the clinic. Called the office on February 12th and showed no signs of having breathing issues. According to the doctor, Arakawa inquired a few weeks earlier about an appointment for Hackman to have a heart scan and had also made an appointment for herself, unrelated to anything respiratory. So the sheriff's office, Adan Mendoza is saying she was probably calling because she needed help. She probably didn't even know she had this Hantavirus. The doctor saying she didn't schedule an appointment for that. So I'm seeing a lot of like conflicting information from this. I'm wondering about this. I'm a nurse and couldn't care for someone with advanced dementia without help. I have a lot of questions. Well, Hanta has a long incubation period followed with rapid onset of symptoms. Then the mummification is just so tragic, not traffic. Why am I saying traffic? Because I'm thinking of Sudiksha Konanki. I'm sorry. Yaya Gaste, shout out to you. I have a lot of questions about this. Okay. Shout out to you, Poe. Have a good night. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You have a good night. Have a lot of questions. Lots of questions. Yeah, she's calling this to schedule an appointment for herself and him. Well, if I understand this correctly, she's saying that she was scheduling. Hold up. So, according to the doctor, Arakawa inquired a few weeks earlier about an appointment for Hackman. Okay. So, a few weeks earlier, she had called him to have a heart scan and also made an appointment for herself, unrelated to anything respiratory, and set to take place on February 12th, the doctor said. She then canceled her appointment on February 10th, citing a need to care for her husband who was not well. On the day of her originally scheduled appointment, Arakawa reportedly called Cloudberry in the morning and was told to come in that afternoon. So on the day of her originally scheduled appointment, Arakawa reportedly called Cloudberry in the morning and was told to come in the afternoon. Cloudberry called Arakawa a couple times after she didn't show up to the doctor's office, but never got any response, according to the physician. They didn't check her records at all, right? We are definitely, Megan, we're left with a lot of questions about this. Honestly, like I have a lot of questions about this. She was wearing a face mask on the 11th when she was out, so it sounds like she thought she might have had a bug or something. Yeah, yes, they do. Definitely should have checked. I mean, she wasn't close. Like they weren't close to the children that they had, right? Like, let's not. I feel like somebody should have checked on them, for a while. But it sounds like Gene didn't really have a close relationship with his kids because he wasn't really around. Like he wasn't around during the formative years. Hey, Gen X, how are you, my love? Um, he wasn't around during the formative years of his children's lives. So, um, I think that's part of the issue. Hence, like maybe why they're not even mentioned in the will and whatnot. He said he was never close with his kids, from my understanding. Yeah. And they were pretty isolated. So it wasn't like I mean, I can understand that piece. If you're not close, there are people that are not close to their parents. So for people to say, well, you never checked on the parents, they just weren't close to their parents, you know? And it's a weird thing because even what they said to the press was off, in my opinion. Like you're already giving them a cause of death. There's maybe it was carbon monoxide. And it was like before they were even done investigating, they were already throwing carbon monoxide out there. Yeah, Renee B. I mean, it's I think part of it is because they don't really like they're fighting for their money. They're fighting for to get a piece of the pie from the parents, but it's like y'all never really checked on them either. I don't know. Maybe it just seems off, you know. That's how I see that. Yeah, didn't he leave his money to charity? No. So the money, so Gene Hackman left the money to Betsy. Betsy had her money tied up in trust, and she also had Gene Hackman's money set up for charity. And I'm because they did do a lot of charity. I mean, the dogs, they were helping with the dogs. I mean, they were really close to dogs. So I'm assuming that whatever money, probably a lot of that money might go to like if it's probably going to be held up, right? But if it does go somewhere, it'll probably be to like a dog charity type of situation, for animals, to like a humane society or something like that. I wonder how like what was his current stage? She might have been transitioning to the next stage with Alzheimer's. Maybe that's why she wanted the scan. Time for hospice. I didn't realize that he was like 95. I didn't even know Gene Hackman was that old. Because to me, it's like I've seen so many movies of Gene Hackman. Like, I just didn't know he was that old, honestly. I thought because she passed first, the money had to go to the kids. See, and that's the thing that they might have to argue. Who died first? Is that part of the? I'm sure that there's going to be like a probate court type of situation. Well, they're going to argue that for sure, definitely. Um, yeah. So here we go. Any changes to the timeline of Hackman's and Arakawa's death could impact the actor's 80 million estate, okay, which he reportedly left to his wife. In her will, Arakawa left assets to Hackman, but specified that if she and Hackman died within 90 days of each other, which, yeah, her estate would go to charity. If they died within 90 days of each other, her $80 million estate is going to charity. If Betsy passes first and then Gene, his will, in a sense, would become void because the individual he wanted his items to be passed to no longer exist in the eyes of the law. Ah, okay. So this is a legal contributor that said, if Betsy passes away first and then Gene, his will, in a sense, would become void because the individual he wanted his items to be passed to no longer exist in the eyes of the law. So okay, so if she this is the all right. So this is that clause that people were talking about. If she passed first and then he did, which is allegedly that's what they're saying how it happened. Okay, this would all be void. And then what? Like, where would the money go to? Would they fight it in court? Would it go to their children? Those there's going to be a lot of claws, right? So I wonder about this. I'm wondering, guys. I have a lot of questions. Okay. His estate and everything he left in his will go to a probate court. They're gonna have to figure this out, where individuals can argue that they should receive the benefits of Gene Hackman's will. Hackman's three children from his previous marriage to Faye, is it Maltese, Christopher 65, Elizabeth 62, and Leslie 58. These guys are like in their 60s and 58 were not named in the will, but appear to be his most direct living heirs. Okay, so they're going to court. They're going to be fighting this. That's what it sounds like. They're definitely going to be fighting this. But what if somebody from Betsy's side comes in and says, "No, I'm going to fight this too"? I don't know. I'm just thinking. Like, I don't know if they had any like. So it doesn't sound like they had biological kids together, but maybe she had. Did she have any kids? I don't know. There's a lot of questions that I have. You think I hope it all goes to charity? You said maybe that's what the kids will use to get the money. Her dying first. This is why it's important. Hey Andrew, how are you? This is why it's important, right? Who died first? I mean, you said I have almost said she could have died where she did, 800 square feet home, and he even know that she was not around any longer, right? Renee says, I believe she loved him after 30 years. The family stated she took good care of him. I mean, it sounds like they were in love. I think that this is going to be a very lengthy, ongoing legal battle for sure. For sure, for sure. Now hold up. This is thank you, beautiful messy ball, who sent me this article. Virus agony. Gene Hackman, though this was the 8th. Wife could have caught rare rat virus from cleaning couple's garage before they died 7 days apart. Well, I don't think that's the right date. It might have not been 7. Um, it might have not been 7. So she was probably cleaning the garage and they might have had like rats in there, which is what it sounds like. Uh, uh, um, Damn, like this is crazy, guys. And like, was she feeling any respiratory? Like, what were some of the symptoms? I'm just wondering, especially if she called the doctor before that. This is just So they're saying that it might have been a buildup, a deadly buildup of fluid in her lungs, given that the official medical term of Hantavirus pulmonary syndrome, HPS. Now, while there's no rodent activity in the main house, rodent droppings were discovered in the couple's garage and outhouses, according to the Daily Mail. According to experts, baby bunny's mad. Arakawa could have picked up the daily HPD from cleaning those specific areas of the property where the rodents had been. Symptoms of the hantavirus include fevers, muscle aches, and coughing, which can progress to shortness of breath and heart or lung failure. I mean, did it happen that fast? Like, I'm trying to figure this out. And also, she had like other medical issues too. But it is a rare disease with 864 cases documented in the US between 1993 and 2022, according to the Center of Diseases and Control. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Don't be messing around with those damn rodents, man. I swear. You said, depending on the contents of each of their wills, who died first may matter, says Andrew. That's immediately what like came to mind, honestly. Thank you, beautiful messy ball. Like who died first? Because I knew that was going to be like a point of argument, right? About this. Who died first and what was going on? Because just don't know, y'all. We don't know. Let's see what you guys say. You vacation and the house we rented had at least one rat in this furnace area of the house was able to make its way into the house itself. They squished through the small openings. Oh, rats will get anywhere. Okay. Rats will definitely squeeze right through anywhere. I mean, I'm telling you, one time, I don't know what it was. There was we were at a party or whatever. This place had, when you're in your 20s, you be doing stupid shit. You go everywhere. You think you're invincible, right? We went to this one party house. They had rats or something. It wasn't anywhere livable or anything. It was just like an abandoned type of party house. And they had no shame. These rats were everywhere. And I just remember seeing them kind of like all over the place. I wasn't sitting anywhere. I was just sitting there with my little, my little drink and just watching. But I'm like, I ain't getting over. Nope. These rats can go away. These rats can go away. And now, aside from saying weird stuff to the news, why are we vilifying people who were abandoned by celebrity fathers? That's a great question. That's a great question. Not a conspiracy theorist, but why her dying before him, knowing that money could be fought for, does make me go, Well, you could be a conspiracy theorist every once in a while. Good on you. It's not. It don't hurt. We just hate them. Why? It's a good question. I don't know. It's like, I think mothers and fathers, right? Like it should be like equal for both, depending on the content. Okay, I read this comment. I feel like they need a second opinion on the rat thing after hearing what the doctor says. Sounds off. Maybe they do. Maybe they. But if they were mummified, what can we find at this point? Right? Like I'm assuming that even the autopsy itself is hard. Here's my question: what made them want to test for hantavirus? Like, was there like what is it? Fluid, excuse me, in the lungs? Is that what made them want to test? Like, what made them want to test? It seems odd. Everything. If each has a will, one of the beneficiaries may have to probate the will. That is why it will go to probate court. Yeah, it sounds like it's going to go exactly to probate court. The kids may not even want not even want the money. Their lives are probably established. Time will tell, right? How fucked up is that situation? I don't know the relationship, but you aren't there for his. I mean, I'm sure it's very complicated. Hey Tony, how are you? Um, let's see. I'm gonna try to. I have a lot of comments, y'all. I'm trying to include everybody. You said, well, when she was at the vet with the dog, I mean, if she was within a short time frame, wouldn't she have shown signs of being sick at the vet? That's a good point. The mummification and respiratory failure. And how do we know what pills were lying besides her? Tony, I think they said that they did say that what the pills were for. Okay, so LG says, yes, there were fluid in her lungs, plus the area they lived. It's a lot of questions. All the forensic experts I have seen have said time of death is going to be hard to determine through autopsy due to the mummification. Man, like literally, it's a lot of questions. You said hantavirus. It's not just one virus. It's a whole family of viruses. In general, it takes 2 to 3 weeks to incubate before symptoms show up. Then symptoms can develop very fast. Okay, can they develop like within 24 hours, you think? I mean, but you said it's like a family of viruses. Damn. It's crazy. Renee B. Did I see what you probably did? You probably did, man. You know, when you're in your 20s, nothing can get to you. I mean, honestly, I didn't even know what hantavirus was until that was said. You know, I'm not up to speed on my viruses. I know that like certain animals, bats and stuff like that. Don't get me started, but all that stuff will get, to you, and you gotta be careful with certain stuff. I mean, I know that rats can give diseases, but hantavirus. Alma Patricia Zamora says, Rabbit, por favor, cheque la reflexión e investigación sobre Gene Hackman de Kirby Summers en YouTube. Saludos y gracias. Okay, let me write that down somewhere. Y'all, sorry, y'all. Where's my paper? Where's my blue notebook? Y'all, people be moving my stuff all over my desk. I need a bigger desk. Okay, hold up. Espérame. Let me see. Kirby Summers and YouTube. Alma, thank you. I'll check it out and maybe do a reaction video. Thank you. A ver si hago un video de reacción, okay? Gracias. All right. It doesn't make sense to me that they wouldn't have a phone record on those calls to the doctor. Well, Patsy, I don't know if they don't. Like, don't get me wrong. We just want to know what's going on. Really? Hi, Blair. How are you? I haven't seen you in a minute. Shout out to you. I'll check it out. I've never heard of a Kirby Summers. I'll check it out. It's also viral. Yeah, okay, then birds too, right? Birds. Listen, I love birds. You think birds are gross? I used to have a cockatiel. I love birds. I have this thing about birds. I don't know. My bird passed away. But oh yeah, and mosquitoes too, right? Hey Alice, how are you? I'm sorry I borrowed the blue notebook and I put it in my backpack. Y'all see you know what I'm talking about, beautiful mess. I have a blue notebook of all my YouTube stuff. And if I lose that, I basically have lost everything. Oh, like possums, right? Thank you. Damn. Yeah, I have a bird who passed away. It kind of makes me sad, so I don't want to think about it. But yes, love birds. Did you? Oh, don't make me cry. Passed away what? 6 years ago. Love my bird. Possums, right? DC possums also carry diseases. I've been chased down by chickens too many times. It's not the chickens. Lord have mercy. The chickens too. Oh my God. But like birds, I guess certain birds you got to be careful with and whatnot. But I do wonder if pest control, if there's some liability. That's a good question, right? Like if they were having rat droppings in the shed, they were definitely checking, right? Definitely checking. They mean as hell. Really, birds? You said birds are. I love birds, y'all. Birds don't belong in cages. No, they don't. I was really close to my bird. Um, yeah, that's what I gotta say. I was pretty close to my bird. Moles are pretty super creepy. We on them in the farm when we grew up. Well, what's another one? There's other like farm animals that pass diseases too. I mean, you gotta be careful. So no, not in the main house. That's what we know. Not in the main house. Wow. You said possums are awesome, but they don't actually carry many diseases. It's raccoons. What about raccoons is another one, right? Yeah, I thought possums were a good guy. I mean, first of all, don't be petting possums, right? Because aren't they like they're kind of mean, right? Pigs, I don't know. Swine flu. Remember when the outbreak of the swine flu happened? Like, was that when Obama was president? I know I got the swine flu when that shit first broke out. Oh man, I thought I was gonna die. Y'all remember the swine flu? Raise drop a one in the chat or like literally if you remember the swine flu. I had the swine flu when it first came out. Raccoons are psychotic. Yeah, raccoons are not your friends. No, they're not. Y'all remember that? I had the swine flu when it first came out. That was horrible. Horrible. I had to go to the hospital for that. I got it and then oh man, I'll never forget. I was so sick. That shit took me out. Hey, Night Charm. That took me out. I was sick. I thought I was gonna die. I was in my 20s when that broke out. Um, but yeah. You said roosters are mean. I hate squirrels. Squirrels. Squirrels are something else, man. Be careful with them squirrels. They can jump on people. Be careful. But they can also carry diseases, can't they? Well, listen, any animal I think can carry a disease like rabies. Certain animals can carry rabies. You just got to be careful. Period. That's it. That's all. That's it. But yes, yeah, swine. I'm telling you, I was really sick, and I still remember it. I still remember swine flu. It was horrible. Um, but yes, let's see. Raccoons are scary. Yeah, they are. You had a friend squirrel who ate her out of her hand. That's cute when they're nice, but they're horrible. You remember the swine flu? The RN I worked with passed away from it. Rip Annie. I learned so much. Aw, I'm sorry. Yeah, it was around that time when the swine flu, bro. Oh my god, I don't even want to talk about that. I just remember how horrible it was. I went to the hospital, and that was like the first time I was really, really sick. But yeah, but anyways, guys, so we're definitely going to keep following the whole Gene Hackman situation and keep breaking it down. And if there's more inconsistencies in the news, we going to point that out because that's what we do. We point out some of these inconsistencies. Okay, but let's talk about another situation here. Okay, so you guys know we've been talking about Sudiksha Konanki. We've already talked about it this morning. I don't feel like we have a whole lot of new updates other than just the fact that, and this was reported today, that a person of interest, as we know, Joshua Riibe, gives the Dominican Republic cops an ultimatum as they question him again on the disappearance of Sudiksha Konanki. So you guys know that they're holding him. They've taken his passport. They're basically like they don't even let him go outside as much. There's somebody in his hotel room that's kind of watching every part. So I don't know, like I guess he's labeled in custody, right? Because he's not really able to go anywhere. But he's been interrogated for hours and hours upon hours. He's been seen on footage. It's been said that Joshua Riibe, who has been in custody and repeatedly grilled by authorities in the Caribbean country over the missing co-ed, can't be detained any longer without being charged. And this is his attorney, Beatriz Santana, said in a motion filed Monday. So is he charged? Is he not? They keep questioning him over and over. They won't give him his passport. What is going on here? They seized his passport and they kept him holed up in the hotel. I mean, at least it's in the hotel. You know what I mean? It could be a prison cell at this point, but it's not like it's in a hotel. If he wants to leave the hotel, he cannot do so freely, but with police only. So they're keeping an eye on him like all the time. So I guess it's a lot of questions to this. There's been more footage about this. I need to understand what is going on. Yeah, he has to be escorted by police. What do you guys make of this? Do you feel like it's okay if he isn't, like, is he going to get charged? That's the question. Where do you guys stand? Do you guys think that they should keep holding him until they get all the questions asked? Or like what do y'all make of this? Now hold up, let me do a poll. Should they continue to hold Joshua Riibe in the DR? Yes or no? I have seen the video. We actually showed it. Yeah, we did. We showed it earlier where they were kind of together. We got to see it all. She was puking, he was puking, they were both puking. With the statements changing multiple times, I don't know how I feel. I think they're hoping for a body. Where does everybody stand? You said outside the resort is pretty scary. People have said different things. Arrest him or let him go. Shout out to Andrew. He said arrest him or let him go. So far, Vic, he's the last person that we know had seen her alive, and he's a person of interest. I believe his story has changed at least twice. I mean, but they can't hold him if they're not going to charge him. You can't just, guys, like, you can't do that. So either charge him or let him go. Like, do you have enough to charge him or let him go? I hate to put it this way, and I hate the fact because I do feel like he probably knows more than what he's saying, but I don't know. Do they haven't found a body to determine anything at this point. I believe his story has changed at least twice. His story has changed a couple times. Let me see what you guys are saying in the chat. So I have 38 votes. Should they continue to hold Joshua Riibe in the DR? Oh my God, you guys said 69%, 70%, all right, give or take, is saying yes from 39 votes. And 31% said no. You think extradition will be hard for them? I think that, and I think so. They're holding him in hopes that they get some answers. Lord have mercy. It reminds me of Natalie Holloway. Marley Mars said something bad happened to that girl. The fact that he changed the story twice, I should be concerned about that. You said, but if she drowns, the body would have popped up within at least 2 days. But it's the ocean, Sylvia. Like, I'm also thinking that there's animals. And then if, like, if the current took her, we don't know. Like, what do you guys call them? The rip ties or the rip waves or something like that? It's not the U.S., not innocent until proven guilty. That's for sure. That's for sure. Beautiful Messy Ball says, I don't know how I feel. I also don't know what the laws are there. That said, I believe if he came home, they had the evidence in the U.S. would extradite him because she's a U.S. No, she's not a U.S. citizen. She's not. I think she's like on a student visa, if I remember correctly. I don't think she's a citizen. Yeah, the riptides, right? The riptides are. So say that they were in the ocean, which is what he said, and he said that they were making out in the ocean, and then there was like a wave that like got them apart or something like that. And so then he pulled her out. Okay. Like, it's different stories. He went to go check on her. She was okay, but he was throwing up because he had swallowed so much ocean water, and she looked like she was fine. And then he wakes up because he passed out. She's not there anymore. But her little like white sarong or bathing suit area thing was found, and then her sandals were placed under the chair. Okay, so it wasn't like she just threw her sandals or somebody just took her like that. Like, she literally, her sandals were placed under the chair. So they did find her clothing on the beach chair. They didn't find her. Now, one theory that I had, I said, what if, because they were both drinking, you could see that they were intoxicated in that video, at the bar. What if they walked together, they were together on this beach. There is this like riptide. They both make it back, but she's laying and she actually gets kidnapped or taken by somebody. And he's just thinking, well, she might have left, whatever, I'm going back to my place. And then the friends went on this excursion. So they're not thinking, they don't see her. They're like, whatever, she probably is in her, place resting or whatever. They go on this excursion and they realize, oh my gosh, she's gone. She's not here. They wait literally 12 hours to report her missing. She could have been kidnapped too. That's what I'm thinking too. Yes, you gotta stay calm as best as you can, then swim aside. And that's what I'm thinking. A riptide. I mean, literally, something could have pulled her. There was animals in the water too. Yes, that's right, beautiful Messy Ball. The FBI is involved too, which is good. I mean, they're getting support from the embassy, so that's a good thing. Which is not like when Natalie Holloway happened, there wasn't a whole lot of support for Beth Holloway. So that's good. That's good that they're out there investigating. They're doing their own investigation here. For me, the people that have said, well, he wouldn't hurt a fly, I don't know. I don't know these people, so I don't know. That's what I have to say about that. But just a little bit of an update about what, the attorney's saying at this point, what they're saying and what they're doing. Guys, let me know what you guys think in the comments. It's a lot of stuff that we covered today with Gene Hackman and then Sudiksha Konanki and just bringing some updates to the situation. We'll definitely keep reporting on it. Now, let me shout out Cash. Thank you for your continued support to the channel. Miramar, thank you for becoming a new member. KCG, thank you for becoming a member or renewing your membership. And Jay McCarthy, thank you for gifting 5. I appreciate all of you guys. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. I have to go because I got to go tend to baby bunny and it's late. It is late and I have a bedtime. I'll see you guys on the next one. Yes? Right? Hit the like button. Thank you guys for being here. And shout out to everybody. I haven't seen you guys in a minute. Shout out to everybody. Selena Killer update. We're waiting on that. Alice. I did an update, a couple days ago. So we'll see how if she's released. We'll see. All right. Bye, guys. Have a good one. Bye, guys.